Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to KidzTown and another wonderful morning of learning from Jesus together.
I'm looking forward to singing today, but first, why don't we play a game?
Oh, before we get to the game, I have a joke for you about singing.
Oh, what is it?
Why couldn't the pony sing the lullaby?
I don't know why.
Because she was a little hoarse.
And now it's time for our game.
Fun. Let's head over to worship time. Hop on up on your feet and get ready to sing along.
There's no shadow of doubt when we look to you now and all that you've done. The covenant made, fulfilled in your grace. You've proven your love. You are faithful, faithful. All through the ages, through joy and through sorrow. Faithful, faithful. Grace for today and my hope for tomorrow. Faithful. You are faithful. Through seasons of change, Lord, you will remain steady and true. And day by day, your
pastors are preaching on living like Jesus, and today they're talking about humility. So the case file that hit the desk of the Bible Detectives Investigation Center is this: what is humility and why does it matter?
All right, let's start looking for clues. So the dictionary definition of humility is the idea, quality, or condition of being humble, or having a modest opinion of one's own importance. And humble means not proud, modest, having a feeling of insignificance, low in importance, status, quality.
That's very helpful. Okay, so we know Jesus was humble because he said in Matthew 20:28 that the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve. And Paul wrote this about him: being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. What if we looked for clues about humility in the Bible in how Jesus lived?
So in the book of John, we read about this time Jesus was traveling and passed through Samaria.
Oh, yeah.
And he talked to a woman at the well where he'd stopped to rest. Now, Jews, that's what Jesus was, they had nothing to do with Samaritans because of stuff in their history. But Jesus, instead of acting like he was better than her because his people were better than her people, he treated her like she was important, like she was a person who was worth knowing and who was worth sharing the good news with.
That's a great example. There's a few times when Jesus healed lepers. Do you remember that? That's a great example too, because lepers were people that had leprosy. And leprosy made people disfigured and unclean. Lepers actually had to go live outside the city because people were afraid that they would catch it and they didn't want them near them. But Jesus didn't see himself as better than them. He saw them as people who were important and worthy of his time and worthy of his help and healing.
So even though Jesus knew that he was God and that he was better and more perfect than anyone else, he didn't act that way with anyone. Where else do you think we could look for some clues?
Well, sometimes we can find a clue by looking at an opposite. Boys and girls, do you know what the opposite of humility is? Any guesses? It's pride. Let's look at the differences. I have a whiteboard here. I'm going to draw a couple guys for you. This is our proud guy, okay? And this is our humble guy on this side. Okay, so our proud guy, he's got eyes that look at himself first. They see all the things he wishes were different or better or just things about himself. Our proud friend over here.
Our humble friend.
Yes, thank you, Rick. This is our proud guy. Proud. I'm going to do that. And this is our humble friend. His eyes see Jesus first, and they see people the way Jesus saw people. Okay. Let's give him happy eyebrows.
So the next thing is their mouth. So our proud guy, he brags about himself, and he complains about other people, and he talks about them behind their backs. But our humble guy, his mouth often talks about how awesome God is. He also is known to brag about others. Like, did you see her art project? It's amazing. Humble guy uses his words to encourage everyone.
All right, so let's draw some ears on these guys. Proud guy hates to be told what to do. He doesn't want to listen to you saying anything bad about him or even anything that's criticizing what he does. He doesn't want to hear it. But our humble guy, he's got ears that will listen when he's corrected. If he makes a mistake, he will listen and he will apologize and he will try and do better.
So what about hands?
Ah.
So our proud guy might have a boxing hand. He might have a boxing glove on because he's always causing fights because he never gets what he wants. That's a good boxing glove.
There's a big boxing glove.
Our humble guy honors other people above himself, is peaceful and considerate. He makes people happy.
This hand is going to be holding some flowers. All right, next, they need feet.
They do need feet.
This guy, he's more likely to stomp his feet because he's not getting his way. So he's got big stomper feet. What else? This guy, he's got feet that are looking to go to where people need help. They're willing to go and do what they need to do. So they're helpful. When you tie up your shoes, I hope you think, these are helpful feet. I'm going to go see where people need help.
So let's put some people in their lives. So Miss Carolyn's going to draw some people for both of them. So do you think that the proud guy gets along with anyone? Probably not. What about the humble guy? What might God think of each of them? Pride is a source of distraction. It destroys everything, friendships, relationships, even yourself. Pride ends up all alone. And then the humble guy, humility builds relationships because people feel loved and valued. So they're going to have more people around them that they love and that love them too.
I like that. He looks so much happier.
He does.
So what does God think of these friends? In 1 Peter 5:5, it says that God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. It also says that God detests pride. That means really strong hate. Proud guy is foolish. However, in Proverbs 22:4, it says humility and the fear of the Lord bring wealth and honor and life. Humble guy just keeps getting blessed over and over and over.
So we found clues in the dictionary and in the Bible, and by looking at the opposite, I think we have this case solved.
Awesome.
Humility is treating others like they're valuable and not acting like you are more important. It's important because it makes the world a better place. That's why Jesus did it, and that's why we should be like him and live that way too.
In our first breakout today, we're going to do a little role playing. So we're going to give you a little scenario, and then we're going to take a few minutes to decide what would it look like to reply in that situation if you're boastful or proud, and what would it look like if you were humble?
Okay, so our first scenario is winning a game. What would you say if you were boastful?
What do you think? We are the best. You are the worst.
That's terrible. We know that it's way better to be humble. What do you think that a humble winner would say?
Oh, what do you guys think? Maybe, I'm so excited. We worked so hard for this. Good job. Maybe you could tell your teammates what a great job they did on maybe some of their plays. Oh, and you could tell the other team that they did a good job and say thank you.
That's way better than saying that they're the worst.
I think so too.
Our second scenario is when you give a gift to someone at a birthday party.
Okay, so what do you guys think? What would be a proud way to do that?
You might say, I brought the best gift.
Oh, yeah, I think maybe I've seen some of that at some birthday parties.
Yeah.
What would a humble kid say?
What do you think? Maybe a humble kid would say, I hope that you love the gift that I got you. And then they would be happy for all of the other gifts that the birthday person got too.
That's a great idea. Okay, boys and girls, in the notes, I have another sheet for you, and there's 6 little stories. It's called Boastful or Humble. So I want you to have a look at this and read each little story, and then let me know, write it down, whether you think this person is being boastful or being humble. If you finish this and send it in to me, we'll get your name put in the bucket for the prize draw.
Ooh, the more we think about it, the more likely we are to think before we react, and we make sure that we choose the right things to say.
Awesome. In our Bible breakout today, we're going to learn a verse.
So Proverbs 22 verse 4 says, the reward for humility and fear of the Lord is riches and honor and life.
That's a good one. Okay, in your notes, there's a trophy page like this. Our verse says a reward for humility. So trophies are used as rewards, right? So what I want you to do, on here, it says Proverbs 22:4. So look up the verse in your Bible, and then if you like to read and write, you can write the whole thing, maybe around the edges, or else just put some of the words on. Humility can go here, because this is the trophy, the reward for humility. And then maybe you'll want to put the words riches and honor and life on this cup part.
You can decorate it however you want, and be sure to send us a picture and you'll get your name entered in the draw.
Right. As we write out those words and as we write out that verse, it'll help us remember it. And once it's in our heads, it's going to get in our hearts too. Before we say so long for another week, I want to give a shout out to our friends who finished the activity sheets from last week and got their name in the prize bucket. Ezekiel and Evander, Praise, Samuel, Caitlin, Marvel, and Drew. Good job, you guys.
Good job. And let me challenge you with this. I want you to stop and think throughout the day what it would look like to be proud right now. What would it look like to be humble? Then choose what to say or do what is right. This is how we live with humility, and this is how we live like Jesus did.
That's right. There's so many chances we have during the day to stop and think. Hey, always good to think before we speak. All right, boys and girls, may you love the Lord your God with all of your heart and all of your soul and all your mind and all your strength. And you know what? I pray that you would find it easy to choose what is right as you practice that this week.
Bye.
See you next time.